Okay, good. Thank you, Jeremy. So we have confirmation of that. So I'm calling the meeting to order. And so then I guess the next step, Jeremy, you just took me out of my agenda. I guess the next step is
we need to approve the minutes from last
approve the minutes. Okay. So has everyone had a chance to look over these minutes?
Yes.
Okay. Do I have a motion that we adopt those minutes?
So moved. It's Gail.
Okay, thank you, Gail. Do I have a second?
Steve will make a second motion.
Okay, thank you. So we have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. Motion carries. All right, so the next agenda item is tenant assistance programs. So you're up, Wendy.
This is Jonathan Coulter. I'm actually going to take Wendy's spot.
Okay, Jonathan, I'm sorry.
Oh, no problem. First off, thank you to everybody for hopping on today. This is important for our department. And so, again, thank you for this. Just a quick agenda item. Kentucky Housing Corporation is requesting the approval and adoption of our amendments to the Family Self-Sufficiency Action Plan and the Tenant-Based Rental Assistance Administrative Plan. The U.S. Department for Housing and Urban Development has revised their FSS requirements. To meet the new requirements for HUD, KHC is required to receive KHC Board of Directors approval and adoption and submit the approved action plan to HUD for approval. Once approved by KHC and submitted to HUD, HUD has 45 days to approve the action plan. Until the action plan is approved by HUD, KHC is not permitted to enroll any new FSS clients. Our recommended course of action is KHC recommends approval by the Executive Committee of the Board of Directors of Kentucky Housing Corporation of a resolution amending the FSS action plan located in the Tenant-Based Rental Assistance Administrative Plan. And I'm also available for any type of questions that you guys have regarding this.
So tell me again, what will this resolution actually do?
So yeah, so when HUD put out the new requirements, so it opened up some new requirements for the FSS people, and it affected everybody that was retroactive in FSS. So some of the benefits that this has allowed is, especially with our FUP youth vouchers, it can increase their assistance from 36 months out to 60 months. Also, if they are in higher education, it allows them to participate in the FSS for a longer period of time, again, extending it from 36 months to 60 months. Also, one of the big requirements previously in the past was the FSS program. It was only available to the head of household. And now what this also allows is this allows it to be for any household member. And that's one of the major changes to that. And then the last major change to it is the time frame. So a lot of times when a family would join the FSS program, their contract would start immediately, meaning that their 5-year term would start. What this allows us to do is the program won't start until after their first recertification date. So if a family signs up today and their recertification is not until May of next year, their contract, so they're able to work on getting themselves self-sufficient, but their contract won't officially start until then, but they can still get all the benefits of the FSS program throughout that process. There are several other changes in there, but those are the main highlights.
Okay. Okay, well, so you really have to have this in order to use these dollars.
Yeah.
And as Jeremy said, every day we go by, we can't use these dollars. It's hurting these folks. So we really need this amended resolution.
Correct. Yeah. And so what's hurting us is we're required to keep a certain amount of FSS families on our program. And, as families move off, off the program or graduate off the program, we have to fill those slots. But until we get this approved by our board and HUD has 45 days from when we submit it to them, we're not able to enroll any new FSS families.
Okay. All right, so it's an important situation here for you. Okay, so do any other executive committee members have any questions of Mr. Coulter about this? Okay, well, if not, we need a motion to approve this amendment and approve this resolution. Do I have a motion from someone?
Holly, I'll move.
Okay, thank you, Holly. Do I have a second?
Steve will second.
Okay, thanks, Steve. So we have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, like sign. Everybody agree? Did I hear everybody ayes? Okay, all right. Okay, so Jonathan, thank you for your presentation and your explanation, and thank you all for the wonderful job you do on this program. So, so then the next thing, informational items from the staff. Winston, Jeremy, or Jim, do any of y'all have anything that you want to add? Wendy?
I don't have any items to add today. We have a board meeting coming up in a couple of weeks, and we will have some additional informational items at that time.
So, Winston, you gave us a pretty good explanation of what was going on in Western and Eastern Kentucky, before the meeting. So, do any committee members have any questions about KHC's involvement in Western or Eastern Kentucky, or anything that the staff wants to add about that? And Wendy, I do have one question of you. Do you homeless? The paper reports somewhere between 8 to 11,000 people were homeless. Has that included? Have they included your all's group in getting federal funding to help them, or is that completely up to FEMA?
Well, it's a mixed answer, Mike. That number seems really high, but I will say I do not have any strong set of numbers, but the number that's in shelter right now is somewhere between 500 and 600, I think, in terms of Red Cross and Kentucky Emergency Management and state park shelters. But it doesn't mean there aren't far more people doubled or tripled up with families. So here's where we are right now with our homeless programs. We have reached out this week to the Red Cross and state emergency management, because if they identify that a household was homeless or what's called precariously housed before the flood, then they're not eligible for FEMA assistance. That is inexplicable to me, but it is true, because FEMA just helps you with what you had before the disaster. So we want to get in there and reach those families in particular with our existing homeless programs. In Eastern Kentucky, unlike in Western Kentucky, we have the advantage of having a good number of very strong housing partners. We have at least 4 really strong homelessness partners and an even higher number of partners who build houses and rehab houses and do economic development and other kinds of projects. So that is, if there's it's not a silver lining, but it's a good thing we've got going for us as an infrastructure of really capable partners in Eastern Kentucky. So we are meeting with those homeless partners. It's either tomorrow or early next week to talk with them about how we get them into the disaster sheltering early to be able to reach people who will be categorically excluded from FEMA help.
Okay. Well, good. Thank you, Wendy. And I really appreciate your all's response to both Western Kentucky and Eastern Kentucky here. I know you had boots on the ground early in Western Kentucky and boots on the ground early in Eastern Kentucky, and these folks really need the help. So I appreciate it. So with that, do any other executive committee members have any questions of anyone or any comments? All right. So if not, I'll entertain a motion. We adjourn.
We will make a motion.
Okay, got a motion from Steve. Have a second? Someone?
Nobody
Second.
wants to leave.
All right, Holly, thank you. And thanks for being able to join us. So anyway, thank you all so much for joining us, and